Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you guys to today's show. We're gonna broadcast this on two platforms. We're gonna do it on the Two Brothers of the No Name Show, and we're gonna do it on Porter Financials. Man, we're gonna, like I said, this show's pretty unique though. We typically talk about pop culture, but how I promised early on, we're gonna cover things outside of sports and pop culture. We're gonna even talk about investments, especially with this pandemic. Some of you guys who have extra money to spend, you want to figure out how to invest your money. And just in general, people want to learn how to invest their money. And we want to give you some ideas. And on this show, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency. And believe me, I'm not telling you guys to invest in it. I'm not promoting it, but I have some successes and I want to share that with you guys, give you guys some options. And I have today an expert by the name of Erick. Erick, he owns a crypto ATM machine where you can make purchases, and also he can answer some questions regarding crypto. Now, Erick, how you doing today?
Hey, Stacey, I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast today.
Yes, and thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm excited.
Yes, and what can you tell my listeners and fans about your business?
Yeah, so I own a company called Bitminas LLC. We are based out of Long Beach. We are a Bitcoin ATM operator. So essentially what we do, we have ATMs that allow customers to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Currently it's mainly just to purchase. And really the whole goal of ATMs is to provide a venue for people who are either underbanked or unbanked to purchase cryptocurrencies that maybe they will not be able to purchase via their bank account. So it's all cash based, and it's a pretty easy way to purchase those cryptocurrencies without needing to do any AML, KYC, or provide too much information. So I think it's a big trend right now. You're going to be seeing a lot of cryptocurrency ATMs throughout the whole U.S. and the world. I mean, there's over 10,000 ATMs now, so it's a growing trend, and I think it's going to be big for the cryptocurrency.
Wow, well. You're starting off at a good place then.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure you've been hearing a lot more about Bitcoin now with the price going up, and it's been out there since 2009. And we're definitely at we're at a point in the economy where there's people who have a lot of hardships or who are figuring out other ways to make money, to make investments, and definitely Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are doing very well, and I think more people will start investing into them, and definitely ATMs are a way to get started.
Right. Definitely way to get started then. That's excellent. Now, like I said, it's so new. And then, a lot of people are scared, especially older people. Like one thing, they're like, oh, it's not FDIC backed, and just a lot of apprehensive. Now, what do you say to new people when you talk to them, when they ask you about it?
So, yes. So, it is, I think for cryptocurrencies, there's a big generational gap. A lot of the Bitcoin investors were a lot of, young kids or medium-aged adults. But I'm definitely starting to see, especially at our ATMs, we're starting to see, baby boomers or other generations investing in it as well now. And unfortunately, cryptocurrencies have had a bad reputation, both in media, and just by word of mouth. There's been unfortunate cases. We had a lot of ICO scams or initial coin offerings. I guess they're your equivalent to your IPOs. So people invested in those and lost a lot of money. It never got their money's worth. Also, a lot of exchanges were hacked.
Wow.
And people lost all their money. So definitely there was a lot of bad rep for cryptocurrencies in general. But I think there's also a lot of opportunity that's going to be coming into the market, and even though those things did happen, and there's the CEO of PayPal, JP Morgan, they were all against cryptocurrencies, and actually now they have their own blockchain teams or PayPal is now offering you the capacity to purchase your Bitcoin on their platform.
Wow,
So there's a
PayPal.
lot of things. Yeah, they do. They actually just started offering, I think, back in December or
Wow,
November, they offered that capacity. So a lot of
that's
big institutions are getting into it, and even though they were talking badly about it, they were also accumulating during that time. So do what they do, not what they say, right? So
right.
I think, yeah, I think it's gonna be big the next couple years coming in, and there's gonna be a lot of profits to be made.
Right. And then Eric, we have a my co-host, he's late to class, but heads up, he'd be late. His name is Troy, aka Bernie Mac, aka the chef, because he's an amazing cook and a funny guy. Troy, I have on the line Eric.
Hey, what's going on, Eric?
Hey Troy, it's a pleasure meeting you. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. In comparison, I can't complain, man. I can't
All
complain.
right, very good. That's good to hear. Thank you for having me on your show.
Hey, man, thanks for being on the show, man, and thanks for being able to provide some much needed education for our public, man, in our community.
My pleasure. Yeah, I'd love to do that. Thank you very much.
So I chimed in. I chimed in a little late, like Stacy was pointing out there, and whatnot. I'm not going to be like, hey, can I get a recap or anything like that? But continue, man. I just was picking up on where you just left off right now. So I'm gonna just let you continue to educate us, brother.
Yep,
Yeah.
a recap is okay because I got some people. I'm not saying they slow, but you know what? Recap is good for the intelligent people. And I don't want to say slow. The process, people process things differently. We talked about the Bitcoin industry, his business. He has this unique business where you could buy crypto at an ATM machine, which is good
Right.
for people who don't have bank accounts, underbanked, or who knows, man. Like I said, we love to do comedy on this site, and who knows, he may want to hide money from his spouse. I mean, instead of going to the bank, he go to the machine, and Eric, I hate to go there, man, but it's true.
So would you admit this is a perfect way to hide some money?
Not say hide money, but hey, instead of going to your bank account, you can use the crypto machine, right there. You know what I mean?
Right. And yeah.
We don't promote that. But I'm saying it. Be anonymous and like I said, not on the bank, and it's more or less off bank. You can purchase the product.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of cryptocurrencies, right? As you're your own custodian. You don't need a third party to hold your cryptocurrency. And me and Stacey have spoke about this. You can actually, let's say, if you want to purchase cryptocurrencies at an ATM, you go to the ATM and you send that money directly to a personal wallet, whether it be a hardware wallet, also known as a cold wallet, or a hot wallet, which is a mobile wallet or online wallet. And you keep your assets there, and no one needs to know. Your bank doesn't need to know, and it's your money, and you can grow it and buy it or buy more or sell it at any time. You're the custodian. You can do whatever you want with it.
Right, which is really good. And then, like I said, one of the biggest things I hear people say, "Oh, it's not backed by the FDIC." Like, what is your take on that?
Yeah, it is not. It's not backed by the FDIC, and although a lot of for instance, exchanges such as Coinbase, they're starting to implement policies like that. That way, your money is more protected. But then again, our banks, how much money do they really hold in the banks in their vaults? If everyone wanted to cash out their money right now from the bank, would they be able to? I don't know about that, but it's if things were to get that critical and we're to go into a depression and everyone wants to pull their cash out. And the other thing too, I mean, we're losing buying power with the dollar 15 to 20% per year on average. So yeah, so there's a risk. There's always a risk in investing. If you put your money in Bitcoin could you could lose 20 to 50% And one day, if Bitcoin has a downturn, it's very volatile. It still is. It's a new market, and it's going to continue to be so, I think, for the next couple of years. But there's also, there's a 20% drop and a 150% gain. So just like we've seen recently. So,
Right.
I mean, it's every investment has a risk. You've got to do some risk management, and what's your risk appetite? How much do you want to invest? Definitely don't invest what you're not willing to lose. But
Right.
but definitely think it's going to be an asset that's going to give a lot of people a playing ground that's a little bit more level.
Right. Now, Troy, do you have any questions? Because I may have a couple more to ask him.
Well, one question that that I was thinking of real quick is I remember reading on the fact that you can have your own Bitcoin ATM machine set up where people can buy Bitcoins pretty much wherever you got the machine set up, if I'm saying that right.
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of companies that are actually offering that service now, and we're one of them. We're one of the Bitcoin ATM operators, and so yeah, our ATMs you can actually buy, mostly buy, but we're going to allow for customers to sell very soon through the ATMs, and really those ATMs. The reason people use ATMs is either their bank does not allow them to purchase cryptocurrencies through their bank,
Right.
or there's a big portion of the population that doesn't even own a bank account because whether they did something in the past or whatever the reason may be, and there's also
Right.
people who are paid in cash, and they don't want to take it to the bank. They'd rather just go to an ATM and buy cryptocurrencies and invest through there.
I
So
seen
definitely. Mhm.
I've seen one of the machine setup. Reason I asked that too because not too long ago, probably about a month ago, I needed to go to the ATM, and I want to say it was all in one, or it was just two machines right next to each other. But I remember seeing that. So, for example, if I wanted to kind of go an entrepreneurial approach to that, there's a system. You guys have a protocol set up for like anybody like me and Stacy to like want to get into that and buy the machine ourselves and set them up in Rite Aids or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and anyone can do it, really. It's
Right.
you just got to have the right policies. You have to set up your team, have your attorney, your compliance officer, and make sure you have the proper policies in place. And of course, we are regulated by FinCEN, so that's our, I guess you could say, our governing body. And so we want to kind of make sure that we comply with whatever rules they have. And
Right.
then and yeah, it's the whole thing is about keeping the customer safe and making the process easy for them to purchase cryptocurrencies.
Well, I mean, it was inside of a. I want to say it was a CVS. So, with that
Mhm.
being said, I mean, if it was inside CVS, then that should be a set of comfortness for anyone who's thinking about the risk that they're taking, et cetera, et cetera. Companies like that, they're not going to let you have some type of setup inside their establishment if there was something that was faulty towards your investment or anything like that. So this is some good
Totally
information.
agree.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
information.
yeah, totally agree. Yeah, no, and that's true. I mean, they're not going to take that risk, and we every time we have a host, we go through a contract with them. We tell them what we're doing and how we do it. That way, they can feel comfortable in having one of our ATMs in their shop, because of course they don't want their business to look bad either. So
Exactly.
absolutely, I think that's very important. That's a good point of view.
Exactly. Stays
Right.
Dizzle.
Yeah, yeah. Then what's Eric? What is so interesting about this crypto, man? More companies are allowing you to pay with crypto. I'm reading the list here: Xbox Store, Overstock, Home Depot. Now that's interesting. Starbucks, Whole Foods, and if Whole Foods is doing it, I'm quite sure Amazon is going to start doing it. I mean, Amazon doing it's game over.
Yeah, I mean that's it's huge. I mean, and as you mentioned, Stacey, earlier, we are talking about how you're going to be able to pay with credit cards now using your crypto. I mean, it's adoption is I think it's coming real fast. You know, and a lot of big companies, actually Overstock has bought a lot of cryptocurrency as well. You know, you have Oracle, MicroStrategy. They're all buying large amounts of cryptocurrencies, and I'm sure eventually they're going to start accepting. Tesla, I know Elon Musk just mentioned that you're going to be able to buy Teslas with Bitcoin pretty soon.
Wow.
So definitely there's going to be mass adoption coming in, and you know, people are starting to see the power of cryptocurrency. You know, you have a deflationary asset that's you know, allowing you to hold more buying power compared to the U.S. dollar that's no longer been backed by gold since 1970s during the Nixon era. So you know, it's people want their buying power back, and they're going to get it, and that's one of the options.
Right. Hey, question real quick, man. You may have covered it, like Stacey said. You know, I chimed in pretty late. You know,
late to class.
I was late to class. You know, for a person like me, just getting into Bitcoin, buying and et cetera, et cetera. Say I wanted to invest and I wanted to get a kind of, I obviously if I'm investing, I'm looking for some type of turnaround. What would you recommend? Say someone fresh making about 30 to 50,000 a year. What would you recommend their minimum buy-in for their first time?
So that's actually a good question, and that the beauty of crypto is you know, you don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. Right now, Bitcoin's worth about $38,000. You can buy pieces of Bitcoin. So you know, really, you can invest as much as you want on your first transaction, and you know, there's various I guess schools of thought and strategies, but a lot of people, what they do is they dollar cost average. So you know, have a lot of customers who come once a week, they buy $100, and every week consistently, every Tuesday, I have a customer who comes in, buys $100.
Oh my!
And what he's doing is he's just dollar cost averaging. He's been doing it for some time now, and I'm sure he's doing very well right now, and he must be very happy. So you know, it just depends on your school of thought or how much you're willing to invest. But definitely, I think for someone starting, dollar cost averaging is a great strategy. You know, you just keep accumulating, don't touch it for some time, depending on, you know, what's your risk appetite, what's your, you know, how long term do you want to go? It all depends on that, but definitely dollar cost averaging is something I see a lot of people doing right now.
Right. Yeah, because you know, the average person just ain't got $38,000 laying around like me. You know, so, but I mean, if I had an option, if I'm like seeing a good turnaround, and like you said, this guy is coming once a week, putting in $100 and just not messing with it, you know, for a while and whatnot. Basically, you're building up your pot. So if you get let's just say if you had a 20% turnaround and for your $100 and dropping another $100 the next week, et cetera, et cetera. So it's kind of easy math. So that's a good thing too, especially if you guys are allowing people to invest something like $100, you know, and just kind of keep building on that, and it gives the customer or the entrepreneur a comfort visual effect of what's going on, and then as they build, then they get a little bit more comfortable with how the program is working. So yeah, man, I think that's awesome, man. So I've actually thought about it on and off myself, and I'm very glad you are on the show, because you know, I get a chance to get some insight, professional reply. So I'll be actually looking forward to getting your link after the show or sometime during the show too as well.
Absolutely, yeah, and you know, there's I'd love to do that, and there's a lot of customers who, you know, had a 80-year-old lady come to one of the ATMs, and she called me and she's like, hey, you know, I've never bought Bitcoin. How does it work? What should I do? You know, I got her set up with her wallet, and you know, told her how to do it. I told her, you know, why don't you do this? You know, we you can purchase as low as $10 at one of our ATMs. So like,
Okay.
just try that. Put $10 if you'd like, and
Awesome.
then see if you like it, if you like the investment, and yeah, after that she keep coming back. She comes back often. She's doing bigger transactions now, and she's getting her Bitcoin in her own custodial wallet. So I mean, it's pretty
Wow.
cool to see an 80-year-old do that too. I mean, it's like before. I mean, Stacey, we're talking about too. It's there's a big generational gap. Before it was only young kids or young entrepreneurs or young guys with money who are investing in Bitcoin. But now um, uh, I'm seeing the trend. There's a lot of baby boomers and different ages that are actually getting into the crypto market as well. So definitely,
Especially if
it's
you
a
can,
market for everyone.
Wow.
especially if especially if you can spend $10. There's a lot of things out there where people want to invest, like variable stocks and whatnot, and $10 is not even getting you a piece of something. So
Right.
that I think that's pretty big. Where you got someone, and not to take anything from any of our senior citizens, but I feel it too. As we get older, we move a little slower and we process a little slower. So if I needed to invest $10 just to make sure I'm keeping up with how this program is working, then yeah, that's a major plus. So that's big, man. Because I wouldn't have never thought you can invest $10, especially the way investing works. Especially the way investing works with things that are taking off and big. $38,000 for the one Bitcoin. Who could imagine I could have spent $10 on it just to kind of get my foot in the door? So that's big, man. That's big, bro.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't realize that you can purchase cryptocurrencies in fractions. I actually, that's a question I get a lot. I had a customer who thought they had to buy Bitcoin, one Bitcoin for $20,000, and definitely, you just explain it and you tell them, you can buy as much as you want. You can buy pieces of Bitcoin, which are called satoshis. So they're like the pennies to the dollar type of thing.
Mm.
And yeah, you can just keep accumulating your satoshis, and eventually, if you can get to one Bitcoin, great. If not, I think you'll still be doing pretty well. There's only 21 million Bitcoins that will ever be created. So eventually, there's going to be more demand and not enough supply, and so it's going to really bring the price of the asset up with time.
I love that idea because I'm in right now. And before we go any further, we're talking about investments. We could talk all day about it. I actually like to show you guys a small investment that I made during for Christmas. Big long story short, I made this plan to buy my nephew and my grandson, who are like one is 12 and one is 4. I'm gonna buy. My plan was to buy them like $50 in stock every year. I said, I'm gonna buy them $50 Bitcoin every year, and I did it for my step grandson, and you know what? I see some major gains. I put in 50, and isn't there $70 now? I mean, let me show you guys my screen. I mean, this is how much I believe in it. I'll show you guys my screen. I mean, I'm not lying. Like I said, if I'm gonna lie, I want to lie about bigger numbers. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie about something small. Let me guys show you my screen. I mean, let me go, even though you guys could see it or not, I'm going to show you the screen. Oh, okay.
Can't quite
That. Oh, let's
see
try
it.
something else.
Don't see it just yet, Stace Dizzle.
No, you don't see nothing yet. Here, where is it? Yeah, it just happens when you fire your assistant,
IT.
your IT and assistants, things, and then I see your low budget show, maybe pretty limited.
Yeah, and speaking of that, I actually I have a 4-year-old daughter. Just before she was born, back in July 2016, I bought her a Bitcoin. That's when it was worth $680.
Mm.
Um, and I just kept it. We just kept that Bitcoin, and that's going to be her, her school money or whatever she wants to do with it in the future. Um,
Right. Right.
yeah,
You
that's
see my screen?
just let us appreciate.
Can you guys see the screen?
Yeah.
You guys see it?
Mm-hmm.
As you can see on the screen, this is investment that I made January 1st, not January 1st. It was I keep thinking January 1st. It was the day before Christmas as a Christmas gift. The original amount was of $50, and look at it now. I mean, it's 71.59. I can't believe it. I mean, these games are amazing. Look at this number here, 22% gain from December 24th up until today. I mean, I mean that's amazing. I mean, okay, here's where it started at. Okay, don't get nervous. This is, I didn't have anything invested then. This is where I started, and this is where I'm at. And as you can see, it up and down. The roller coaster is down, but look where we at now.
Like you mentioned, Eric mentioned what the 20% loss to the 150% gain.
Look at this. I mean, this is a month, and then with this, which is interesting. Imagine if I invested in a bond, man. That bond, that $50 probably be worth $50.50 today. You know what I mean? But look at that. I mean, there's pluses and minuses. I mean, there's some losses, but in the long run, it's going to come out on top. It looks like. Look at that, man. 71. Man,
well, the interesting thing about your scale, even though it shows that curvy up and down, that's still increasing. Like your second down is still higher than your first down. So I mean, it just increased. It just keeps increasing. So I mean, it's a comfort scale to look at for anyone who is in thinking about investing in Bitcoin. And like I was mentioning earlier, I mean, just to know that you can put $10 at minimum into the Bitcoin. A lot of people are not aware of that. We talked about this before, where we have all this information available to people who want to be entrepreneurs or invest, but the proper information, which what I like to call the trigger information, what triggers a person to say, okay, now I see it more clearly, and okay, I can invest $10. A lot of people don't know that you can invest $10 in different type of investments in stocks and et cetera, et cetera. So that's what's really big, and especially you talking about $680. That's what it was worth when you bought it.
Yeah, that's originally when that was actually just like a little gift for my daughter. I just kind of thought about, I've believed in Bitcoin for a long time. I read the white paper. I did the whole. I'm a big Bitcoiner, and I believe it's going to be an asset that's going to grow a lot. So I was like, 680. I bought it, and then now it got up to 41,000, and now it's currently 38,000.
Oh my goodness! So can you adopt me?
I know. I know, right? And no one knew where the market was going to go. 2018 was pretty bearish market. We got back down to about $3,000, $3,200, and people thought Bitcoin was going to zero. And but really, the big money was actually, that's when they were really buying a lot of the money up while they were talking negatively about Bitcoin on media. So, going back to the saying is do what they do, not what they say. I really love that. And I think it's so true because, a lot of people just kept accumulating. And it's quite interesting because I think Bitcoin and Bitcoin holders are the only ones that ever want Bitcoin to go back down, because they wanted to go back down so they can accumulate more. It was, which is quite interesting because, we want to keep accumulating. You never hear that, for someone that owns Tesla, you want Tesla to keep going up. Yet with Bitcoin, being an asset that's only ever going to mine 21 million, people want to accumulate more because they know that there's going to be a lot of demand in the future for it.
Okay, hey, Eric, we actually have a question. Interesting one. I told a couple of people. One guy just texted me. He asked me. First of all, he said, "Man, I wish we were in a pandemic. Man, he'd be a great guy to have lunch with. He's a business guy, investor. He was like, great to have lunch with you because he heard a little bit of it. He's like, wow, that guy knows his stuff. That's what he said. And my question, one question that he asked, he says, how would a person who really want to get in the industry and how could a person want to get in the industry? I guess to buy the machine, and could somebody be a miner? I don't know what he means by that. A miner."
Yeah, so mining is how Bitcoin is created. So you use the power of computing to create new Bitcoins using different algorithms. So pretty much you're letting those, whether it be a graphics card or CPU, that you let them do the algorithm, the mathematics behind creating a Bitcoin, and they produce Bitcoin and they pay you. Pretty much you get paid to produce that Bitcoin. So there's a lot of big miners around the world. Here in the U.S., there's some too. I think the biggest miners are based out of China, and there's a lot of mining rigs here in the U.S. as well that are doing quite well. I mean, they were having a hard time during the bear market, from end of 2017 or beginning of 2018 to the end of 2019. They had a hard time keeping up, but now with the price of Bitcoin the way it is now, I mean, they are very profitable,
right?
Depending on the size of the mining rig, but definitely that's another great way to get into the industry.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds kind of Star Trek complicated a little bit. I'm going to stick to the incremental investment for now. I don't need to be a miner. Peace out to people who want to be miners.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Actually, Eric, man, you're very transparent with the way the description and the way you're telling everyone. You ever thought about just maybe also for yourself? I don't know. You may be already doing it, but something along the line of seminars or some type of personal classes that you can offer, because the way you're explaining everything about the Bitcoin is very transparent. So and that's big, especially because everyone can get it, but they may not get it the same way as the next person got it. As far as understanding what a person could be explaining about something. And right now, I can tell you have a very transparency of way of explaining it. What do you think about that, man? I mean, would that benefit you?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, for me, one of the things I love to do is teach. I love to teach people. I love to learn myself. I'm always reading and learning new things, and doing seminars, things like that. Yeah, I mean, I would love to do that, and I've actually have thought about that. I'm actually originally from Mexico, and so I've actually have done, I guess, small seminars with Hispanics, speaking in Spanish and kind of teaching them about crypto as well, because I want them to be able to get into the market as well and be able to invest. I think there's an opportunity for everyone to be able to do it, and yeah, for me, teaching and learning is great, and I think there's abundance for everyone in this world, and if I can help anyone, I'd love to do that.
Hey, man, if you ever get something like that off the ground, especially right now, everything is virtual. So I would definitely, we would definitely become a follower. Then that way our people are automatically getting notifications. Our community automatically notifications whenever you go on. I think that is big investing. A lot of people need to do more of it. A lot of people are not aware of a lot of our citizens that's walking around here with money, and you think, how did they get it? Are they a doctor, or are they some type of scientist, or whatever the case may be? And a lot of people are just living good because they invest, and a lot of people living good because they invest. So yeah, I think, man, think about that, man. I would love to be part of the followings and getting people. We have a lot of followers ourselves. We got a lot of people who respect what we think of as well, how we view things. And I think this is one major thing that can be a major plug for our community. And then and also, I think this would be something that you would like. I mean, like you said, you like teaching, and it sounds like you would be very good at it too. So yeah.
Well, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely talk to you guys about that. I can definitely talk to you about that after the show. And yeah, I'd love to get something going like that, whether it be a meetup or hopefully when things open up, we can do some seminar or something. As long as people benefit out of it and and learn something from it. That's what it's all about. Always learning.
Right.
Exactly.
And Eric, one thing about our show, I mentioned to you, we're show we like to have fun too while we're being informative, and we can let you off easy. I mentioned when I was talking to you, my co-host Troy, he does a Bernie Mac impression. That's like his alter ego, and Bernie Mac loves to ask some fun questions.
All
That's
right.
called the pandemic Jeopardy questions. Like I said, we could try it out. I mean, not put you on the spot. It's kind of fun. I mean, you have a sense of humor, and I like to give the mic to Bernie if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Let's hear it.
So, Eric, you are aware who Bernie Mac is, right?
I do. Yes, I do. Uh-huh.
I'm glad the fuck you do, because here I am, okay? Here I am. I got a couple.
That's very,
I got a couple questions for you, Eric. Okay.
yeah, that's actually really good. I'm very impressed.
Well, I got a couple questions for you. Okay.
All right, let's go.
All right. Now I'm gonna ask you a couple questions about the pandemic. And don't lie to me, Eric. Okay. Cause if you lie to me, Eric, if you lie to me, boy, I swear to God. I swear to God, Eric. Don't have me come get you, man. Okay. Now I got a question for you. Now, if you had a chance to quarantine with 3 families during the pandemic, all right, and one of the families is the family from Good Time, the other family is a family from Different Strokes, and the other family is a family from Brady Bunch. Which one of these families you quarantining with?
So we got the Brady Bunch, and which were the first 2?
Different Stroke. I swear to God, he don't listen. That's what's wrong with these youngsters. They don't listen. Okay. I said Different Stroke. Okay. Different Stroke. I said Good Time, and then I said the Brady Bunch.
Brady Bunch. I don't know the first 2, to be honest, and Brady Bunch I'm not too fond of. But I guess I'll go with the Brady Bunch. That's the only show I actually have heard of.
Now, some told me you might not know about Good Times. Okay, but that's okay though. That's okay. Now, tell me why you in quarantine with the Brady Bunch?
With the Brady Bunch. I guess it's because it's the only ones I've actually heard of. But I always see them in separate rooms as well. So I guess that's the good thing. They're always in their own little box.
Okay, I get you that. Okay, I get you that. Now, okay, and I got another question for you. Now, the question will be a little harder, and there's some rules I need to tell you about too. Okay.
All right, do it.
Now, for every question you don't answer, you're responsible for the pandemic extension for another 3 months. Okay, so if you say no, or if you just don't want to answer it, okay, it's your fault that the pandemic go another 3 months. I got 2 more questions. They're gonna get a little harder with the questions. Okay.
All right.
Now, my next question is, let me see, Stacey, what was that question? Not the real hard one, but the second to the hardest. Oh, the village people. Okay, that's what it was, the village people. If you had a chance to be one of the village people to stop the pandemic, which one of them would you be?
One of the did you say the Venice people?
The village people. You know, YMCA, you know them peoples. They sing that song.
Okay, if I was to be one of them, who would I be? Oh my God, I don't know if I want. I don't know if I can answer that one, but I don't know. I don't know who it would be, to be honest.
Okay, no problem.
But,
ladies and gentlemen,
I think I just extended the pandemic, unfortunately.
No problem. No problem. Ladies and gentlemen, Erick, he the motherfucking reason. I'm telling you right now. We got 90 more days of this shit. Okay? Because of Erick. All right, now I got one more question.
All right.
If you can spoon with Donald Trump for 30 minutes to stop the pandemic, would you do it?
If I could smoke with Donald Trump?
Spoon. They talking about smoke. I tell you about the young
Pretty
man.
cool, actually.
Talking about smoking Spoon.
Spoon. Oh, to stop the pandemic? No, definitely not. I'll extend another 3 months.
You know somebody. You know somebody. You know why I ain't mad at you? Cause me and you got the same skull.
I think I'd rather wear the mask for now.
You mean you got the same skull? I ain't mad at you. So because of me and you, the pandemic is going another 6 months. There you go, America.
Yeah.
Because Erick, now y'all ain't mad at me no more. Y'all mad at Erick now.
Yeah, Bernie Mac, your net worth is
right.
so high. If you're alive, your net worth is so high, man. I bet you could invest in a whole lot of crypto.
I will invest my whole entire bank account in crypto. It'd be so much crypto, Superman be scared of me. Okay? That's how much crypto I have.
Right. Okay, well, let's get back to some normalcy, man. That was really good. Like I said, Eric, we had to
It's amazing.
because we were thinking, oh my god, okay, he's a finance guy. Should we do the Bernie Mac? But hey, why not? We like I said, we have fun on the show. We do this to everyone.
Hey, no worries. That was awesome. That was really good, actually. I'm impressed.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, like I mentioned in email, I did warn you. I said we like to have fun. We like the Daily Show. Like I said, we typically get a little more raunchier, but like I said today, we want to keep it informative and professional. Like I said, that was great that you enjoyed it. But in closing, now where can people find your machines?
Yeah, so out here in the Long Beach area, we have one on actually in Long Beach, which is on Willow and Lakewood at the Shell gas station, and then we have a new one on in the city of Stanton, which is on Catella and Western. But really, if you want to find out all that information, you can just put Bitcoin ATMs on Google Maps or Apple Maps.
Okay.
Or you can find us at bitminas.com. Or we have Facebook and Instagram as well, and you can find us at Bitminas.
Wow. Okay. Excellent. And then the one thing I'm going to do is for my listeners out there, Eric, what I'm going to do also a couple times during the week, I keep you updated too. I'm going to post our video. I'm going to do some editing, of course. And I'm going to post this video on Facebook Watch where people could watch. And you're free to listen and watch, so you'll be able to answer questions they have any. Because quite a few people did ask me about the Bitcoin, and they could watch the video and then they could ask questions right there. Then it'd be great if you're around. You don't have to, but either way, you can even come in after the video, and then you can come in and answer some of the questions that may be on there.
Right. Just
I'd love to do that. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, just let me know, send me that information, and I'll be more than happy to do it. I'd love to answer their questions.
Right, and then also another thing I want to do is for our show, Troy had this real interesting idea for the show. I'm going to invest $20 on behalf of the show, and we're going to let it sit there. I'm not going to trade it, and then at the end of the year, me and you're going to split that $10 go to us. And the other 10 will go to a listener. We're going to have a drawing for that listener. More or less, hypothetically, if that $20 grow to 50, we're splitting that 50, and then we're going to give another portion up to the listener. What do you think of that, Troy?
So if the $20 go to 50, then we get the 25, and then we're going to give 25 to the
something like that, right? We're going to split it. Yeah, like I said.
So now. Between now, let's just, I don't mind it because I'm about a community service, but I got a question because you got to be careful what we promise, especially when we want to fulfill,
right?
Which makes sense. Now, is there a cap? Because what if we go from what if the $20 go to 18,000? You trying to give out 9,000?
Hey, you know what? Oh, man, you know what?
Let's say with a cap.
Like this out there, fans. We are going to explain the details within this week, but for sure, we'll put $20 in, and we're going to go over the details, right? I love you guys, and I love you guys, fans, but we can't split it like that. I mean, don't get me. TV shows, they're not splitting profits like that. They may give you a little prize, but they're not.
You know what? It's a very good idea. I think we should sit down and talk about it. And if it has the potential to do, I mean, that number I said is obviously a ridiculous number, but we still want to be safe, and we can say, hey, we can do this with a cap of 200, with a cap of 300.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then another thing I want to do is, I'm going to announce it this week too. I want to just give like a $10 coupon, to buy crypto at one of Erick's machines.
Mm-hmm.
That way they could try it out, and but then I'm going to we need to set up a prize or a contest, or even best comment of the week, for
Right.
the watch, and then they can get $10 to give it a shot.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I did something like that earlier a couple of weeks ago where I think I did ask a simple riddle, and whoever came up with the answer first, then I cashed out them $10. I mean, it was just something to have some fun with. It was raining and cold, so just a little something. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense, man. I can see us doing that.
Right, right, Erick. Then if I were to buy the crypto, then I can always transfer it to the person, right? Because I don't want to give them $10 that they take that 10 and then buy some beer with it,
Yeah, no, exactly, absolutely, and you can always transfer to them, and it's quite easy to do that. And if you guys have any questions about that, I can always help. And I would also love to have one of your listeners too. I'd love to give them a hardware wallet too, as part of the price as well. I can offer that to you guys as well.
Oh yeah, hey man, that's love. Yeah, see, we're moving on up, Stacy.
Give me money. Well, listen, show I got crypto. A year from now, somebody's crypto just grew and stuff. Yeah, I got that from the Two Brothers No Name show. Bernie Mac gave it to me.
Yeah. Bernie, Erick, and Stacy.
There we go.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Man, that's love. That's love, man.
That's all, Erick, man. We appreciate you coming on. If there's anything else you want to say before we exit off.
Yeah, I mean, just thank you guys. I'm really blessed and thankful to be on your podcast. And if you guys have any questions, or any of your viewers have any questions, you guys can always reach me. And I have an business email. It's Erick@Bitminas. If you have any questions that you want to get to me directly, I'd be more than happy to answer them as well. And
just to clarify things, Erick at spell it out too. Say your website again, and then also spell it out.
Yes, it's Erick@Bitminas.com. So that's my email, which is ERICK @Bitminas, which is BITMANAS.com.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, because some listeners don't get it. You got to spell it out a little bit. But yeah, man. Yeah, like Stacy was saying, man. Honestly, man, this particular interview, being able to help the community out is something that we always, try to give some valuable information to our followers in the community. This one right here is big because this will be our, I have to say, our first interview where we're able to help someone invest, and also provide a transparency on how to invest in the Bitcoin. So kudos out to you, Erick, man. I really appreciate that.
No, thank you guys. Thank you guys for having me on your podcast. And yeah, I'd be more than happy to help. And I'm glad that I was able to teach you guys, something about cryptocurrencies. And I know it's a lot to take it on just a short period of time, but I'm always there to help and answer any of your questions.
Man, yes. All right, Stace.
Yeah, like real quick, I forgot to say a little joke. I was saying with this pandemic, I can't make it rain at the strip club. Hey, I've been buying crypto instead. We're
gonna drop ATM machines on the floor.
Oh, maybe I stop. You know what? We better end this
before. That's actually not a bad idea, maybe.
Rating exactly. You guys have a good one.
All right, man. All right.